Simplify 3D printing for beginners. CoreXY. Flagship. 500mm per second. Fully enclosed. Where do you think about? Well, I'm going to talk about the Elegoo Centauri Carbon. Right here on Zachary's 3D Prints. Hey, Zach here. Welcome to this video. Yes, this week Elegoo debuted the brand new fully enclosed 3D printer, the Centauri Carbon. A CoreXY 3D printer. Wow, that is very amazing. They are also dropping in the game of fully enclosed CoreXY and fast 3D printing. But what do I think about it? So let's show the printer and see what I think about it. So this is the Elegoo Centauri Carbon, a fully enclosed 3D printer by Elegoo. A print speed of 500mm per second, and like they mentioned to PR Newswire, going to be the flagship. This 3D printer is meant for simplifying 3D printing for beginners and, eliminating the steep learning curve and high cost. Yes, this sounds very familiar. This is going to be a beginner's 3D printer, having everything inside of a fully enclosed 3D printer, making sure that when a newcomer to 3D printer comes, that this 3D printer is going to be the printer for people who doesn't have any experience within 3D printing and want to have something very quickly. So I'm really curious how that is going to turn out, because it is a CoreXY 3D printer, and I hope that Elegoo fully, ironed out all errors, problems, because we know the thing about the huge 3D printer, the Elegoo Orange Storm Giga, having a lot of issues. So I hope that this 3D printer, that according to also the article, that this 3D printer, they started early 2023 with this concept. Early 2023, last year. Is that around the time that CoreXY came out with the CoreXY K1 as answer to the Bambu Labs P1S or the Bambu Labs X1C? And by coincidence, this 3D printer is called the Centauri Carbon. CoreXY K1C, C stands for carbon. The Bambu Labs X1C C stands for carbon. There is a little theme going on in China, I guess. More and more companies are hopping in to the bandwagon that Bambu Labs started with a user-friendly 3D printer, fully enclosed, fast, and less maintenance or less problems. I'm not really sure if this is always the case for other people that are using the Bambu Labs 3D printers and the CoreXY 3D printers. But also, according to the news article, it's also called the flagship. When CoreXY K1 came out, CoreXY was calling this their flagship. So this is going to be one of the bigger products that is going to be major for Elegoo. They say in the article, after extensive testing, this 3D printer, to their beliefs, is 100% ready. And yet, this 3D printer is going to be released somewhere in September 2024. So we are at the end of June, early or starting July, so meaning there are still 2 months to go before September starts. So are they going to make sure that there is enough to start selling this 3D printer? I'm still waiting for my Elegoo Saturn 4 Ultra. I had to wait for 2 months, somebody said to me. In my opinion, like September, okay, that is going to be cool. I think the mainstream content creator, I'm not going to mention them by name, but there are a lot of fellow content creators on YouTube that are working with Elegoo 3D printers. So I think those units will be shipped to them. And I would love to see you also checking out their channels as well and see what more information you can get about the Centauri Carbon. Also in this article was mentioned that there is a smart AI camera in this 3D printer, which is kind of cool. CoreXY has that as well, and also the Bambu Labs has it as well. For the CoreXY, it is a optional, so it doesn't come standard with the AI camera. No, you have to buy it. So I hope that Elegoo adds this camera as a feature in there, so that you don't need to pay an additional money to get this camera, and also that it is not linked to a certain service in order to get these smart capabilities of this 3D printer. I mean, that would be stupid. I mean, if you have an object detection or spaghetti detector, you want to get the little notification on the printer or on your desktop like, hey, there's something going on with your print, do something about it. Something like that. If you're looking to the picture, we see a big LCD display. It is a touch screen like nowadays. This is a standard thing. This is a 4.3-inch LCD touchscreen, quite similar like the CoreXY K1. So we have here 8 icons or thumbnails from models that are on the internal storage of this 3D printer. We also see here several icons, I think like home, the folders where your models are, I think settings and some advanced settings or some movements, and also, you know, extrude and retract, and I think something like about Elegoo or about this 3D printer. This looks nice as well. Check this out. We have a filament spool on the right hand side and with a filament run out sensor just right above it. You know, having a filament spool on the right hand side or on the left hand side of the 3D printer can be beneficial, but it can also be a little problem as well. If you don't have a lot of space, just like me here in my office, in my YouTube studio, I don't have that much space, but I have next to my CoreXY K1, I have space to put there a filament spool holder. On the back side, it is less accessible, or you have shelves that are bigger so that you can take the printer, twist it around, put the filament spool on the back side, load it, and then turn it back and continue with your print. I think this is more an ease of use thing, but I mean, if you have big shelves, then I think that this is amazing. You know, a blink of an eye, you can see exactly how much filament is still on your spool. I think that even though you have a filament run out sensor, I think seeing how much that there is still on your spool is also very handy to have. Next to the display, we have also a USB connector, I think for a USB thumb drive, having your files on there as well. Usually what happens with these kind of machines, you have the STL files or the G-code files on your thumb drive, you put it inside of the USB connector, and the printer automatically imports them into the internal storage so that it doesn't have to read from the thumb drive. Yeah, so this looks like a glass door. The glass door looks very, very similar like the Bambu Labs P1S glass door here. The 2 screw holes, the little hinge here. I mean, it's cool. It's made out of glass, so some people needs to be very careful. It's already, like mentioned here, fragile glass. Uncle Jesse, be careful, don't break it. We have here on the sides, we have panels, but they are not see-through like on the CoreXY K1. If we go a little bit further up, we have here a little hatch. It looks like it is 3D printed, but I mean, it can be also metal. Glass panel on the top as well, just like on the other 2 brand 3D printers, just like on the Bambu Labs and the CoreXY machine. The decals on this machine, just like the previous machines, an industrial space themed decals. It is looking very nice. Yeah, like mentioned, it is Centauri carbon. CoreXY 3D printer, 500 millimeters per second print speed. This is 100 millimeters per second slower than the CoreXY K1, but it can also be that this print is even similar like the CoreXY. This is the inside. If we are looking, this is a nice normal standard textured PEI spring steel sheet. If I can guess the print volume, this would be like 235 by 235 by 250, something like that. If we are looking to this side and scroll a little bit to the inside, we have here this little lever, which is very similar like the Bambu Labs 3D printers, and of course a poop chute. And here you still see some poop. So this 3D printer is going to have also a multi-material system coming out soon. It has to be. I mean, why would you have a poop chute right here if you don't add that functionality to the printer, right? Here, a big, huge parts cooling fan for the whole length. Here we have the LCD touchscreen. This is the home screen, light, Wi-Fi. So this 3D printer does have Wi-Fi, but I'm not really sure if there is also an Ethernet port available if you want to print over LAN instead of Wi-Fi. The temperature for the hot end, the temperature for the bed, and also the parts cooling fan. The is this the chamber temperature, just like on the other printers? Very cool. And a picture of this 3D printer as well. Would this screen have also the picture on there? Then we have here the folder, settings, advanced settings, I think. So like mentioned, this printer is going to be released in September of 2024. I don't know. I don't have any more details about this 3D printer because I wasn't at the CTC where this printer is currently at. But you know, check out the 3D printing nerd, Sam Prentice, Frankly Build, Nathan Build Robots. There are a lot of content creators on YouTube that are at this event. If they are going to release something about that, just say hi from Zach, because I'm going to send you to them to watch their content about this 3D printer. So yeah, we can be thrilled about those kind of 3D printers that are going to hit the market very soon. You know, like this video, and also if you're not subscribed, subscribe. And you know what you can also do? Check out this amazing video right over here. It is going to blow your mind right here.